In small towns and big cities, in 230 communities across America, people have been walking for the March of Dimes. High school kids, mothers, grandfathers, entire families. They're all walking to help the March of Dimes fight birth defects. It's the idea of helping others that makes a walkathon so successful. And it's many people working for the same goal that makes a walkathon so much fun.
When Super Walks began, mostly young people took part. But pretty soon, a lot of us, shall I say, older types saw what fun the kids were having, and we all said, hey, wait a minute, are we missing out on something? So slowly, we took part. Why? Because we, like the kids, know that behind all the fun, behind all the brass and bagpipes, behind all this hoopla, the Super Walks have a very serious purpose.
Be sure to save time for March of Dimes Walk America. It's a great way for you and your friends to have fun, and a great way to help the March of Dimes fight birth defects and infant mortality.
And we can help provide support in their work to care for moms, babies, and families.
Today, I'm asking you to step up and join myself in the March of Dimes as our annual March for Babies goes completely virtual.
When my son Phoenix was born 10 weeks early, we spent 6 weeks in the NICU, and March of Dimes was there for us. I've decided to start my own team, Team Lachey, with the goal of raising $10,000. So please, I need your help.
When you March for Babies, you're fighting for a world in which moms and babies are healthy and strong.
A whole lot of people are thinking outside the box when it comes to raising money.
I also want to give a special mahalo to all of our associates. You raised more than $17,000 for this special cause. And because of that, my hair will be going purple on May 15th.
If you contribute a minimum of $20, I'm going to deliver to your doorstep, right? And then we're going to do a drawing for a Quarantine Clean COVID-19 care pack.
Welcome to all the March of Dimes community and supporters of healthy moms and strong babies everywhere. I'm Leslie Foster from CBS in Washington, D.C., and I'm thrilled to be your MC today. Now, we're here to recognize all of the great efforts the community has put into the March for Babies virtual Step Up campaign this year. This is your event, so if there's someone you think deserves a shout out or you want to give props to your tribe, please use the comment streams. We want to hear you. To kick us off, I'm happy to introduce March of Dimes President and CEO, Stacy D. Stewart.
Welcome, everyone. Today marks a very special day in the long and truly exceptional history of the March of Dimes. 50 years ago, we were the organization that created the concept that we think of today as charity walks. Our annual March season happens every year during the spring and summer. It is still the foundation of our grassroots fundraising that supports March of Dimes to lead the fight for healthy moms and strong babies across the United States and around the world. This February, we met and discussed the implications of what we now call the COVID-19 pandemic. We knew that our marches and our celebrations, hundreds of them from Maine to Hawaii, had the potential to put people's health into jeopardy. And we made a decision to ensure the safety of our volunteers and our supporters. But this year, as another first for us all, March of Dimes made marches a virtual experience for hundreds of thousands of people across the country. The possibility that just one person connected to us might fall ill because of crowd spread made our decision very easy. It's a statement in line with our organization's rich history of advocacy, care, and action on behalf of the vulnerable. Simply put, we lead the fight for healthy moms and strong babies everywhere. This evolution is purposeful. Even before COVID-19 became a threat for pregnant women, moms, and babies everywhere, there was already a maternal and infant health crisis in America. About 400,000 babies are born prematurely every year. About 2 babies die every single hour. And almost 2 women die every single day in the US due to birth complications. So our mission to fight for both healthy moms and strong babies is very real. It addresses very real, human, and to an extent, controllable causes and effects that impact lives at once. We focus on improving maternal and infant health with resources, with education, advocacy, research, and programs that impact millions of families every single day. And through our work, we can face this crisis with the same strength, commitment, and clarity it took to fight polio and win. When coronavirus spread across this country, it came with another layer of risks and threats for moms and babies. We are working to meet these challenges as well. During the pandemic and beyond, moms and babies can't wait. Delivery can't wait. So we adapted once again, and now we provide free virtual neonatal intensive care unit support programs for families, COVID-19 educational programs, including weekly live Facebook panel discussions to get info into the hands of moms and families, necessary supplies for expectant mothers, including blood pressure cuffs and masks, and more every single day. And what makes all of this possible, every bit of it, comes down to our marches and to you. If you're watching this, it's likely you're responsible for these moments of support, help, and care, and humanity during a very unsteady and unfamiliar time. Communities of donors have stepped up. Teams have rallied and competed in challenges on social media platforms, from Facebook and Instagram to TikTok. And yes, I was even on TikTok. I did the dance, and I hope you did too. You've dedicated so much positive time and focus and energy and love to this organization during a time when it wasn't convenient or financially easy. You are, each and every one of you, amazing and so deserved of the recognition of your contributions and hard work. So to all of our walkers and our families, our corporate teams, our sponsors, and our partners, we look forward to the day when we can all give you all big hugs in person for all the excellent actions that you've taken to step up and to support March for Babies this year. We have a very special program today with some very amazing guests and surprises too. So here's another first for all of us. Welcome to our first ever March of Dimes inaugural Recognition Day.
The workers at Publix are my superhero. Thank you, Publix, for helping moms and babies grow stronger like us. You are our superheroes. Thank you for being our superheroes.
We are all very much aware of the lack of sporting events and, well, really any big events right now. And that's why I am happy to be able to introduce Tyler Ott, proud March of Dimes supporter from the Seattle Seahawks, here to announce our Bracket Challenge winner.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tyler Ott, NICU graduate and long snapper for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm so happy to be a part of this special day to recognize all the hard work volunteers, walkers, teams, families, donors, and sponsors have accomplished to support March of Dimes' efforts for healthy moms and strong babies. This year, this very unique and hopefully completely unique year has put forth its challenges. But this is March of Dimes, this is March for Babies. And you all rallied this year. You stepped up in so many ways. I'm missing my teammates and sports in general, as I'm sure many of you are. I miss the healthy competition, cheering for my teams with my friends and family, and I really want to watch or play just about anything that doesn't involve a screen or is indoors. But you stepped up in that respect too, and you all put together a 64-team bracket challenge, and your markets took part in some fierce competition to help raise funds for moms and babies. Almost 100 teams started out, trying to ramp up their fundraising efforts and get out of the qualifying rounds and into the 64-team bracket. After weeks of challenges and tournament competition, fundraising went up across the country, so you all won. You won for moms, for babies, for healthcare workers, for nurses, for doctors, and for yourselves, because your spirit and determination elevates you all as true champions. Think about it. Where would any of us be without moms? And where would any of us be without babies? The work you did impacts us all, every last one of us. We had a Final Four round, but you know what? It's been so close at the top. It came down to really 6 standout teams who motivated people to donate and fundraise. And those teams were West Virginia, Northwest Ohio, Delaware, Southern Colorado, Central Pennsylvania, and North Carolina Triad. So a huge shout out to these all-star teams from across the country. If you've been following the bracket, you know that West Virginia and Southern Colorado made it to the finals. 2 amazing teams. That said, there's only one winning March for Babies Madness Bracket Challenge team, and no one knows who that is right now except for me. Can I get a drum roll, please? The Market and City team that won the only 64-team Elimination Bracket Challenge in 2020 I know of is West Virginia. Congratulations, runner-up Southern Colorado, and let's hear it for Team West Virginia, the champions of the first ever March for Babies Madness Bracket Challenge. And to everyone at March of Dimes, thank you and keep up the great work.
I stepped up in 2020 to help support and fight for micro-preemies like my son Tucker.
We all know families that have been impacted by premature births and the associated birth defects. So won't you join us this year in stepping up for the babies?
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my friends, colleagues, and family who have supported me for this cause over these last 30 years.
This year we decided to step it up, to reel in some cash for the babies. Years of fishing, dedicated to saving lives.
I'm stepping up to help make sure every mom and baby gets the support they need.
Thank you for stepping up for what you do for babies and moms. We all know.
We're so grateful to March of Dimes and all of the work and research that Chelsea benefited from, and everything they're doing to give moms and babies a healthy start.
We are all in this together, and together we can help moms give birth to healthy babies today and in the future.
I'm stepping up because it's not fine that more than 380,000 babies are born prematurely every year in the United States.
I am stepping up because of my youngest son, Chaz. Chaz was born by emergency C-section at 25 weeks gestation. Chaz now is a healthy 12-year-old boy in the 6th grade.
Arthur, Alex, and Andy were born 8 weeks early, weighing less than 4 pounds, and spent 30 days in the NICU. We are so grateful to the March of Dimes for the innovations in taking care of preemies.
Oftentimes, when so many have to do without, we choose to focus on charity, self-reflection, and being grateful. So join us in the March of Dimes Walk for the Babies.
This year, for the 50th anniversary of March for Babies, March of Dimes has launched the Step Up campaign. Because we physically can't walk together, this allows you to join, fundraise, and virtually walk by downloading the Charity Miles app to track your steps.
We love March for Babies.
Although the walk will look different this year due to COVID-19, the need for March of Dimes research is the same, if not more important, since little is known about how this virus affects pregnant women and their children.
This year, March for Babies walks turned virtual, but we still need you.
Will you join the fight?
We are here to ask for help from March of Dimes. They need our help now more than ever.
Step up this year and support March for Babies. We're trying to make sure that we have healthy moms and babies. Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
Moms and babies need us more than ever. Join us and step up today.
You guys, we have work to do, and March of Dimes is leading the effort for this work. One day, no family will have to say goodbye to their baby. Won't you join me? Let's step it up in 2020.
We're all in this together,
I hope you will step up and celebrate March for Babies and join the virtual march.
I'm stepping up for March for Babies to support all the 1-pound babies born, to support the parents who lost a baby while in the NICU, and to support all the parents who are fighting to bring their baby home by spending endless days in the NICU.
It's critical that we come together as a March for Babies community to support and ensure moms and babies have the support that they need moving forward.
Stay active, stay healthy, and step up for the March of Dimes.
We march so that the March of Dimes can continue their efforts in advocacy, education, research, and support. As my good friend and colleague, Dr. Jessica Daigle said, we march now so they can step later.
Thank you for your support and step up.
Step up.
Step up.
This is a picture of my preemie babies, if you can see here, and this is them now, and they're doing good. Thank you, guys.
Even though we can't physically walk together, we hope you will step up during this time to let moms know we are still here for them. We are so proud to step up in honor of Camille's memory. Who will you step up for?
We're not in this alone, we're all in it together. So you too can help celebrate March for Babies. You guys want to say bye?
Bye! We will get through this.
Un bug kiss?
2020 has been a year that is so important for people across the country to step up for moms and babies everywhere. And that time is now more than ever. When we return, we'll focus on a theme near and dear to the hearts of so many people familiar with March of Dimes and the March for Babies walk experience. Why I Walk. We're going to hear from walkers, teams, and families across the country with a heartfelt family story and more. We'll be back shortly.
Team Levine has been raising money for the March of Dimes for 13 years in memory of our twin girls and Olivia and Julian's angel siblings.
On March 29, 2017, at 4 p.m., our daughter Sawyer entered this world stillborn. The day before, my husband and I had gone in for a routine 29-week appointment where we heard what no parent ever wants to hear. There's no heartbeat. Our lives completely stopped that day. Weeks later, with the help of March of Dimes, we were able to find out that Sawyer had died from a blood clot. 2 months later, I was pregnant again. I was immediately put on blood thinners and was closely monitored by multiple doctors, resulting in 2 successful pregnancies. Without their help, I would not have 2 healthy, strong, beautiful babies running around today.
I'm walking in the 2020 March for Babies for my daughter that I lost 11 years ago. I walk so that no family goes through a loss like mine, and so that every family gets the care and support that they need and deserve.
I introduced the March of Dimes to the club due to a personal loss of my first child. I walk to celebrate his short life and to provide support for others.
When I was 3 years old, my dad, mom, and I were excitedly preparing for a new addition to our family, a younger brother. Jonah was just too little to be able to fight it, and he passed away at 9 days old.
I had 2 miscarriages, one that ended at 5 weeks and one that ended at 9 weeks. After going into labor, had Maddie at 24 weeks. She was 1 pound, 3 ounces when she was born, and she spent 92 days or 3 months in the NICU. This is a cause that we are continuing to fight for. We will continue to support, and whatever the Gordons can do to ensure that the March of Dimes continues on, we will do that.
We are stepping up because in 2016, our twin girls were born 3 months premature. While in the NICU, our daughter Annalise got an infection and passed away.
I stepped up in 2020 in honor of my daughter Gracelyn Hope.
She was born at 33 weeks and passed away at 7 months old.
Our baby, Charlie Sue, that was born at 22 weeks, she was stillborn. We lost her in the hospital.
The family team was formed shortly after Liam's twin brother Ewan passed away in the NICU. Liam, what are we gonna do?
Step up for the babies.
We walked to honor our son Wayne, who was born at 29 weeks and passed in the NICU from an E. coli infection. We also walk for our 31-weekers, Anne-Marie and Vivian, that are our rainbow twins and have come so far since being in the NICU.
We were shocked, but excited when we learned that we were expecting triplets. After trying so hard to be parents, we were devastated when 2 of the triplets, our identical twin girls, Ella and Emma, were born prematurely and passed away in the hospital. The third triplet, our son Aaron, was born a little later, but still early, and so spent 2 months in the NICU due to prematurity complications. We support the March of Dimes to honor and help all parents and babies.
Sawyer is a huge part of our lives, which is why we fundraise and participate in the March for Babies walk each and every year.
Every family deserves the best chance possible to bring a healthy baby into the world, and the March of Dimes is laser focused on that mission.
I was lucky enough to meet a woman that absolutely changed my life, right? And so when we talk about my wife, Kira, we're really talking about sunshine personified. We were ecstatic when we found out we were welcoming our second son, Langston, in April of 2016. So on April 12th of 2016, we walked into Cedars-Sinai for a routine scheduled C-section, and we walked in for what we expected to be the happiest day of our lives and walked straight into a nightmare. Shortly after our son Langston's delivery, he shows up perfectly healthy, 10 fingers, 10 toes, you know, super handsome, looking just like me. It doesn't get any better than this. They take us back to the recovery, and as I'm sitting there watching Kira rest, as I look down, I begin to see blood coming from the catheter by Kira's bedside. So this is around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I bring it to the attention of the doctors and the nurses at Cedars. They come in, they assess Kira, and they order tests, including blood work and a CT scan that was supposed to perform a stat. Hours go by, 5 o'clock comes, 6 o'clock comes, no CT scan. And it wasn't until after midnight that they finally took Kira back for surgery. After allowing her condition to deteriorate as me and my family and her family begged and pleaded for somebody to just help her. And when they finally took Kira back to surgery, and they opened her up, there were 3.5 liters of blood in Kira's abdomen for where she'd been allowed to hemorrhage for almost 10 hours. And her heart stopped immediately. This It's Not Fine campaign is so powerful. And it resonated with me so powerfully because that's what we were told. We were told that Kira was going to be fine. In fact, all the way up until after midnight, as they are wheeling Kira down the hall to take her back to surgery, and Kira is holding my hand, she's telling me, baby, I'm scared. I'm scared. The doctor that was taking her back to surgery, he overhears the conversation. This is what he says to me. He says, it's gonna be fine. And when he took Kira back into that operating room, that was the last time I saw her alive. For the March of Dimes to make a commitment to this campaign, for the March of Dimes to allow families from all different walks of life, from all different sets of experiences to raise their voice and express that they too were told that these precious people to them were going to be just fine. So that's why I fight for maternal health.
Thank you all for sharing your stories about why you walk. Now here's Danny Maxwell and her family, longtime March of Dimes supporters from Wisconsin, who will share their story and remember someone special to help others who may be going through some difficult times right now. If you would like to share the names of your fondly remembered loved ones in the comments section and tell your story, this is your time and your space to do that.
Hello everyone, we're the Zarebny family coming to you from Brooklyn, Wisconsin, just outside of the capital of Madison. My name is Danny Maxwell Zarebny. This is my husband Steve, our daughter Rylan, and our son Brooks. Both of our children here are rainbow babies. We think of them as miracles after a long road to parenthood that included many losses. I actually had 6 miscarriages before we had Rylan, and I went into preterm labor with her twice. Thankfully, she was born at 38 weeks, healthy as a horse. She was a tiny horse, but she was healthy. And I had several more losses before we had Brooks here. But the reason we became involved with the March of Dimes is because in 2015, actually 5 years ago this April, we lost our triplet sons. They were born prematurely at 22 weeks. So I work in Madison at a news organization, WKOW. I'm a longtime news anchor and now the assistant news director. So this journey for us has always been very public, not something I ever tried to hide from people who saw me on TV. I mean, why would I? It was a beautiful thing. But viewers knew that I was pregnant with triplets, and knowing the risks, I felt it was really important to share with people whatever happened, and the worst did happen. I was anchoring our morning broadcast one day when I went into labor. So I finished the show and I drove myself to the ER. I had experienced preterm labor before with Rylan, but in this case, we knew that there was nothing that doctors could do to stop what was happening. And so a few hours later, our sons, McKay, Asher, and Kenji were born. And they were so tiny, but they were so perfect. They lived for about 4 hours. McKay even grabbed my husband's finger. And we just held them until they passed away. Now, there's nothing like the feeling of going home with empty arms. I know a lot of you know that feeling. It is the worst in the world. So we spent a good amount of time grieving, but we also wanted people to know about our sons, that they existed in this world, and that we love them and we had dreams for them. And so I wrote an article about McKay, Asher, and Kenji that was published on WKOW a few weeks after they died. It helped me deal with my grief, and then people started reaching out to me about their own stories of loss. Some who had never shared anything about the baby they lost until that moment. And we shared stories, and these connections really lifted me up. And they made me realize that my sons mattered. You know, all of your children mattered too. You felt a connection to that baby, and that baby was someone in this world. We are extremely lucky to be raising 2 children. It's not lost on us that there are many families who don't have that. So the next year, the local chapter of March of Dimes reached out to me to share our story at a fundraising gala. And we've been involved with them ever since for events like that, and also for the March for Babies walk. March of Dimes does so much to help with the research concerning prematurity and finding solutions to keep moms and babies healthy. And so it was absolutely something that we did want to be a part of. We knew for our situation, there wasn't much doctors could do to stop me from going into labor early, but one day that will change. And that's because of the work of March of Dimes. And so we know so many of you have experienced loss too. We get it. We have been there. We have felt hopeless. We have felt lost. We have felt like there's nothing that can make this better. But I do want you to know this. You do have someone to talk to. You have someone to cry to. We found there is a whole community that we can talk to about our babies, and who knows what this feels like. And I want you to know that you will come to a place where you can remember your child and be peaceful about that. Your child existed in this world. They were loved by you, and I hope you find strength in that. Now let's have a moment of silence to remember our loves. We are thinking of you all. Thank you to all our March of Dimes friends for your support.
The reason I walk is for this little guy right here. His name is Ryder Jackson Wheeler. He is our miracle baby boy who was born at 24 weeks and 3 days.
I walk because I want all moms and babies to have healthy and happy pregnancies.
My March of Dimes why are these two guys. Truman, who was born at 23 weeks in 2006, and Elliot, who was born at 28 weeks in 2012.
Without the support of March of Dimes with their research and the amazing support they give the Gainesville nurses and doctors, we would not be here with our miracle Maggie.
My daughter Emma, she's born in 2010, weighing 3 pounds 10 ounces, and thanks to the wonderful work and research done by the March of Dimes, she is this healthy, thriving, smart, sweet little girl next to me, and I am forever grateful.
These two were born at 32 weeks and 4 days, and they spent 25 days in the NICU, and that was after I spent almost 6 weeks on hospital bed rest. And we know that without the tireless work, advocacy, research, and education that's done by the March of Dimes, these two would not be here with us today.
We like raising money with March of Dimes because my two brothers were micro-preemies and spent a lot of time in the NICU.
Teaming up with March of Dimes benefits our greater community and our partners and their families.
We walk for our daughter, Abriana, who was born at 27 weeks and weighing 2 pounds. We want to thank everyone for all their support this 2020, and we hope to see you all next year.
We just want to thank everyone for their donations to March for Babies during this pandemic. Thank you.
And in the midst of this hard road, if we can bring comfort and support to another family walking through this journey, then our family wants to do just that.
And when you're in the NICU, whether it's for a day or 99 days, all that you're looking for each day is that little beacon of hope. And that's what March of Dimes does for moms and for babies everywhere. They're a beacon of hope. They're a fighting voice.
March for Babies gave us the strength to get through the hardest and difficult times. They have become a family.
We support March of Dimes because of our two preemie daughters, Sarah Maris and Joanna. And we just wanted to thank March of Dimes for all they do for moms and for babies. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Bye.
Hey, this is Morris, and this is my son Wyatt. We're with Team Will out of Huntsville, Alabama. And why do we walk? Well, we walk in honor of our first son, Will. Will was born with a cluster of birth defects and abnormalities that sadly he passed away a few days after due to these abnormalities. And so we started Team Will in his honor as a way to honor him and a way to support the March of Dimes mission to give all babies a healthy start. And so what we wanted to do was to have some way to help and give back so no parents have to go through the loss that we went through. And so what we're doing this year that's been really neat and fun, especially during the coronavirus outbreak to try to build community and outreach, is the 50 States Challenge. So I'm going to kick it over here to Wyatt, but Wyatt tell you what the 50 States Challenge is.
So there's 50 states, and we want a donation from all 50 states.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do was to really engage community and build relationships and help spread the word of the March of Dimes and the mission of the March of Dimes and all the great work that the March of Dimes is doing. So we've issued a challenge to try to secure a donation in our family team's name for all 50 states. And I'm proud to say we're going to reach that goal. And we've just had lots of friends, family, complete strangers tagging and sharing on social media and doing, and it's just truly amazing. And it's built a lot of community engagement, a lot of challenge and fun, and just a great way to help and support the March of Dimes. And for us, the March of Dimes has really been inspirational. It's been very therapeutic for us. It's been very uplifting for us. It's allowed us to teach Wyatt a lot of great lessons about giving back and do. So we're real proud to be a part of the March of Dimes and be a family team and support the March of Dimes. And we want to encourage you guys to walk and build strong relationships and to give back so we can all make the world a better place for moms and babies. Thanks, everybody.
thanks to the March of Dimes community for their support and the ability to really step up for one another in times of need. That's why we're here today, to recognize your hard work, to step up, show up, and support each other. Coming up, what healthy moms and strong babies means today. Welcome back to the heart of our program. We'll lead into the mission focus of March of Dimes and what you've all worked so hard to support now more than ever: healthy moms, strong babies. March of Dimes held another fabulous virtual event just last week called It Starts with Mom. And we put together a highlights reel because when you think about it, strong babies do indeed start with healthy moms.
When I created The Honest Company, my mission was really to offer products and education and resources so that everyone can live their happiest and healthiest life. And that includes moms. So in honor of Mother's Day, we have joined with March of Dimes to make sure that over 6 million mommies-to-be get the health care, the education, and the advocacy they need. And our commitment to March of Dimes of a $100,000 donation. Maternal mortality is rising in the U.S. as it declines everywhere else. How does March of Dimes address this maternal health crisis? Investing in clinical research on the cause of maternal mortality, convening national and local initiatives to improve maternal care across the U.S. Join us in this fight for mamas everywhere.
More than anything, I wanted to be involved and really spread awareness for what I had went through.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience, how things started for you and how they've changed in COVID-19?
It's definitely really scary, and even walking into hospitals, it's a completely different situation. You have masks, you have gloves, you have people escorting you to your, it feels like it's in a movie, but it's our reality, unfortunately, at the moment.
It's unacceptable that in such a developed country that we have really such a high mortality rate.
Just the challenge of isolation, of the not knowing, probably also lack of community, and you created community.
To really listen to your gut and your intuition and do what feels right for you.
We all deserve our best chance at having a healthy pregnancy.
I actually had a cousin who was born very prematurely, and her family leaned on March of Dimes and their resources.
I mean, they've been completely different from, let's say my first pregnancy, where I felt so comfortable to go to the hospital, even for something as small as, pains and aches with the first pregnancy that scare you, you kind of run to see your doctor. With this one, it's more of, okay, let me process this. Let me, see if it's something that I even need to go to the doctor for. Can this be, handled over the phone, over a video chat?
Luckily, the baby and I were okay, and they did such an amazing job taking care of us. But I learned pretty quickly when I was in the hospital that, you can have a birth plan and you can have all these things filed away but it rarely ends up going to plan. So, it's just, yeah, I mean, I had a crazy experience.
As we look at the landscape of COVID-19 and we look at what pregnant people are on a journey for during this process, and also folks who are on their fertility journeys, community is so important. Educational tools are really important. We're right now in the midst of Mental Health Awareness Month, but obviously Maternal Mental Health Week. And during this week, if we think about, the struggles that someone during the fertility period is undergoing, we really have to think about what emotional angst people are going through and what that does psychologically, especially during a time like this. And so having critical supports, right? Having self-care practices, having a nice licensed mental health provider that you can check in with.
I thought the baby was going to come out and we were going to lock eyes and like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight was going to start playing, and it was just going to be this immediate connection. And I didn't have that. And so the guilt started right away.
It's just it's a harsh reality for a lot of women and a scary time for a lot of women. And I think that's why it's so important that we are doing this with March of Dimes, just to bring about this community, this education, and this advocacy that, we all deserve our best chance at having a healthy pregnancy. Go to itstartswithmom.org. Thank you so much for joining us. Have an incredible evening, and happy Mama's Day. Every day is Mama's Day. Don't forget that.
I know a lot of you out there, especially the moms and moms-to-be, are hungry for information on how to stay healthy during this crisis and every other day for that matter. So we welcome the March of Dimes Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Rahul Gupta, and OBGYN, Dr. Siobhan Dolan, to talk about maternal health and pregnancy today.
Hello, my name is Dr. Rahul Gupta. I'm the Chief Medical and Health Officer at March of Dimes, coming to you from Northern Virginia. At March of Dimes, we walk as a team and volunteer and come together for so many personal reasons, things that impact our families in direct ways and unite us. As a doctor and a strident supporter of our mission, I admire these connections and thank our volunteers, walkers, and supporters. COVID-19 puts us all at risk, but pregnant women and babies have additional risks to consider. On its own, it's alarming, but it's happening at a time when we are already undergoing a maternal and infant health crisis in America. Prior to this pandemic, did you know that 1 out of every 10 babies born was preterm? Did you also know that every 12 hours around the clock, a woman died because of complications from childbirth and pregnancy? What's worse is that numbers are worse for Black women, who are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during childbirth and pregnancy. While we don't know for certain that COVID-19 presents a greater risk for severe illness to pregnant women, we do know that viruses in the same family do. We'll be dealing with COVID-19 for years to come, not months, but we need to figure out how to take the best steps possible to protect women long term. And we know that the strain of cultural and social stressors and isolation can cause or worsen health conditions for pregnant women, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and preterm birth. With that said, I am so pleased today to have joined my colleague, Dr. Siobhan Dolan, an OBGYN, who is a part of March of Dimes' network of experts. Dr. Dolan provides so much great insight in a variety of subjects, including prenatal care. Hello, and thanks for being here today, Dr. Dolan.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to connect with March of Dimes today. I enjoyed being part of It Starts With Mom last week, and that was great to speak with Ilda and learn about her experience during her pregnancy. And so today I'm really pleased again to be part of this, to think about how we can get good information out to women, how we can continue to celebrate the joy of pregnancy and the anticipation of a new child, and then to help women do that in a way that's safe and also adapting to the new world that we're in.
Well, so tell us, for pregnant women right now, or for anyone who becomes pregnant, what's a high priority consideration given where we are right now?
You know, one of the first things that I think is so concerning for women is how am I going to get my prenatal care? You know, for years we always talked about you need to go in, you need to register for care, you need to be seen. It was so focused on being in the building, being in the hospital. But then, you know, here, those of us in New York, in the middle of March, we went home one Friday, and then on the Monday when we opened our eyes and thought about going back to work, everything was closed. The whole idea was stay home. So I think pregnant women were incredibly scared and thought to themselves, wait, how am I going to get my care? And we really had to work quickly to say, we're going to engage with you, we're going to take good care of you, but we're going to do it in a way where so much more of that communication is through video and through phone, and we're going to limit the number of in-person or on-site contacts to those that are essential. We have a first visit with women once they call and register for care, where we take their history, we learn about their obstetric history, we talk about their medications, we talk about their risk factors during pregnancy. That's usually in the 8, 9, 10-week range. Then in about 12 to 13 weeks of gestation, we have women come on site. We do an ultrasound, we do lab work and vital signs. So that's what we do in person. And that helps us get additional information. Then we'll probably do another phone or video visit at about 14 weeks, 16 weeks or so. And then in the 18 to 20 week range, we have women come in for a full anatomy ultrasound. We take a good look at all the structures of the baby, another set of lab work as needed, and vital signs. And then we really have those first 20 weeks kind of mapped out. And we've had the opportunity through this to really engage with women. You know, what I have found interesting is that women are so happy to hear from us, so excited to hear from us, so relieved is probably the word, that there's care, that someone's talking to them, that the doctors are educating them.
That is so, on one hand, exciting to hear that so much of communication and over the weekend change in healthcare systems have happened. But in some ways it's been good because now we can actually get more sort of instill humanity into the healthcare even more. What about recommendations specific to the care and safety for pregnant women?
Yeah, well, one thing is we want pregnant women to do everything that everybody else is doing, right? So wearing masks, social distancing, staying away from sick contacts. Pregnant women should do that, as we all should do that. The other thing that we're working with women to prepare so that they get into the second half of pregnancy, they have the tools at home they need, would be to get a thermometer so they can take their temperature, to get a good scale so they can monitor their weight gain, a blood pressure cuff so that if they are someone at risk for high blood pressure, as you mentioned, which is a pretty important risk factor, we could have women taking their blood pressure at home and monitoring themselves and calling in if their pressures are rising. And then the last would be an O2 sat monitor. It's just a fingertip device, but again, if you're having respiratory problems, it gives you an objective measure of whether or not you're at a situation where you need to come into the hospital. Also, home glucose monitors for women who might be sort of on the bubble with sugar control and diabetes. Getting that stuff set up at home gives women the tools and the empowerment to be able to collect their data and to be real partners with us as providers, so that together we can help women get to 39 to 40 weeks and to healthy outcomes.
That is so important, Dr. Dolan. And towards that end, I think it's also important to find your happy. At this time of physical isolation, you make sure that you're doing what makes you happy. For example, meditation, listen to music, bake, you can do exercises, read. Find what works to stimulate peaceful moments and happiness throughout each day. We also think that moments such as these you should schedule, and they really, really count for you as well as your baby. Reach out to people as much as engage with people you care about. This helps reduce the stressors on yourself and therefore help your baby. All this is towards what I noted earlier about keeping stress at bay to avoid same issues that Dr. Dolan mentioned, which is high blood pressure, high sugar, heart disease, as a result of preterm birth. Isn't that true, Dr. Dolan?
Oh, absolutely. And I love your advice about meditation and stress reduction, because I really need to take it myself. it's hard, and I think everyone has their own circumstances. I know we had talked about, we have kids in college, right? We're both in that circumstance, and right now they're trying to take final exams. I have to say, my house was not super relaxed this weekend because everybody was on Zoom calls and getting ready for their finals. And then also, one of my daughters is supposed to graduate college this month, so she's experiencing some of the loss of the rites of passage that she thought she would have, and she's okay. In context, she gets it, but it's okay. I said to her, it's okay to feel a little sad for what's not going to be an experience that you'll have. I think a lot of pregnant women have that too. They're anticipating going into the hospital, having their their already child come in and be the big sister, having the grandparents come in with the balloons, and all of that you're looking forward to, that's part of your experience. It's not going to happen right now. And again, I think most women can focus, and most families are able to say, right now it's about health. But it's also okay to feel some of the sadness for not being able to celebrate those big, exciting aspects of your life right now, and then thinking about ways to celebrate it in a smaller way now, and then planning for the future when hopefully we can have the parties and have the balloons and have the social connection again. So I think keeping it in perspective is important. It's hard to do, but again, I'm going to go home and try to meditate, and I say that with all sincerity, because getting those muscles of relaxation nice and strong is important.
Exactly. And I can tell you that many of our walkers and donors who have enabled so many of our COVID-19 related programs and services that are directly impacting moms, babies, and their families are also probably going to think about doing that meditation right about now. So, we've helped moms through a different set of rules for delivering babies, for being there in the delivery room, and for NICU baby families and more. So I really challenge all of us to elevate our efforts today and our ambitions in this fight for the greater good that will address both former and current healthcare crises for moms and babies in America at once. So I will leave the last words to you, and thank you for joining us today, Dr. Dolan.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and I'm delighted to share in the support of March of Dimes that's helping to bring women together, bring researchers to the table, help us understand what COVID-19 means for pregnant women, for breastfeeding, for creating healthy families. So it's really been my honor to be part of this organization, and thank you for having me today.
Wonderful. Thank you as well.
Team Nia's Journey would like to send a message of hope and thanks to all of the frontline healthcare workers currently fighting the COVID crisis here in the U.S. We would especially like to thank Inova Fairfax Hospital and DuPont Children's Hospital, as they were both instrumental in Nia's survival. We would especially like to thank the chief of the NICU, Dr. Robin Baker, and the fetal care team at Inova Fairfax. Nia had a 118-day long NICU stay between two hospitals, and we can't thank the doctors and nurses enough. And to all the families currently living this NICU journey, know that you are not alone, and utilize the family support of March of Dimes. Through Nia's journey, we know that miracles do happen. We're stepping up with March of Dimes to continue to fight for strong moms and healthy babies.
And now I'm seeing angels overhead have found me, standing in sunlight, all become brand new. I'll be an anchor and fall together to find me. When waters rise, I'll become like you.
I want to say a huge thank you to all of our doctors, nurses, and other essential medical staff who are on the front lines fighting the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you for your bravery and for your selflessness. We are very, truly grateful.
We would like to say thank you to all the healthcare workers that are working right now on the front line, and especially to all the healthcare workers that are in the NICU, because we would not be here today if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much.
I just wanted to say how much we appreciate all the sacrifices you make on a daily basis.
Thank you so much for all that you're doing for our moms and babies right now.
Coming from a family of first responders and medical professionals, I know the passion and the resiliency that everybody that's in that field possesses.
Thank you to all our nurses and healthcare providers. We appreciate you and your bravery. Stay healthy and stay safe.
On behalf of all of us here at March of Dimes, we just want to say thank you to all the doctors and nurses, essential employees, working tirelessly to keep us healthy and safe during this time.
We are staying home for you, love, Brooke. And all the people that are in the hospital, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you.
Thank you for all the doctors and the nurses. Thank you. Thank you.
When what is right, I'll become like you.
Well, a big thank you to our doctors and all our healthcare workers fighting for healthy moms and strong babies every day. We appreciate you always. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined by special guests for our closing sequence that takes a look at what's ahead for March of Dimes in 2021 and beyond. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thanks again for joining us for this special day. We are still stepping up to take a look at all of the exciting moments that you, the March of Dimes community, are going to create together tomorrow and beyond. Welcome back, March of Dimes President and CEO Stacy Stewart, who will be joined by some special guests.
Well, here we are, nearing the end of our first recognition day. And before we close with a very special video effort, I wanted to take some time to talk to two of our long-standing March of Dimes volunteers. Volunteers drive our work to empower families. With help from volunteers like you watching now across the country, we're able to make an impact through education and research and advocacy. But there still is work to do. Again, we have been able to adapt a lot of our volunteer opportunities through this very difficult time to virtual and safe modes of activation. I call March of Dimes an organization today that is led by volunteers because without all of you all, honestly, there would be no March of Dimes. We wouldn't be able to do all the work that we do. And it's a real important part of our grassroots legacy that's been running for 82 years and will continue. So today, I asked a couple of our very long time and very dedicated volunteers to join me today just to talk about their experiences in working with us for the many years that they've worked with us. I wanted to find out what inspires them, why they share their time, their energy, their spirit in such powerful ways, year in and year out. And so joining us today, first we welcome Tina Morasic from Pittsburgh, where she has been involved with the March of Dimes since 2009. Tina has played a number of standout roles with the organization throughout her tenure, from family lead at local marches to mission speaker, and in 2019, she joined the March of Dimes Board of Directors and the Butler County March of Dimes Executive Leadership Team. Again, I'm really honored to have you here today, Tina. It's great to see you, and thank you for everything that you've been doing for us for so many years.
Stacy, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for those very kind words. I am so happy to be here today, representing my friends and my family team, and most importantly, the March of Dimes. This organization is so important to me. I found the March of Dimes during a time where I was very vulnerable. After the stillbirth of my first pregnancy, my twin daughters in 2009, I found the March of Dimes. And in the March of Dimes, I found comfort, I found resources, I found education and support, and I found a community of moms and of dads and of families who all were striving for the same thing, the health of moms and babies. And today, with my three healthy living children, Elena and Angeline and Robert, Together with our family and friends since 2009, we have supported the March of Dimes with a family team in our local marches. And I'm so excited to be part of our leadership team locally on the Western Pennsylvania Market Board of Directors. The March of Dimes is so important to us. And this year, more than ever, we wanted to step up because you can't pause pregnancy. And we want to bring awareness to all the wonderful things March of Dimes does, especially during this critical time.
Tina, thank you so much, and thanks for sharing your story. What's interesting and so inspiring, I think, is that you overcame this tragedy and found comfort at the March of Dimes, and that's really been sustaining you for a number of years. And we just can't say thank you enough for everything that you've done. And not only are you inspiring me and so many of us on the phone, I know you've inspired a lot of folks in Pittsburgh to continue to do such great work and be there. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stacey.
And now I'm really honored to welcome Rosemary Schatzman from Houston to this program. Rosemary is a volunteer for this organization forever. She has been with us since 1997, and she's served on the board since 1999. Rosemary has consistently broken fundraising records throughout her years with the March of Dimes. In 2019, she was the #1 walker in Houston. She was the #1 walker in Texas, which is kind of saying a lot when you're #1 in Texas. And she was last year the #2 walker in the U.S. And of course, this is one of the highest distinctions that any volunteer can earn in this organization. She and her family have literally raised millions of dollars, all for the health of healthy moms and strong babies, and has done an amazing job as an amazing volunteer. Rosemary, thank you so much for being a part of the March of Dimes. You are a part of the important lifeblood that keeps us going. And we are just so grateful for you. And thank you for being such a remarkable and exemplary role model for all of us.
Thank you, Stacey. And Tina, it's very nice to meet you, and congratulations on everything that you do. I'm really humbled to be able to participate today. And yes, as Stacey said, I've been involved with my family since 1997. What drove us is that we had a very healthy birth with our first baby girl, 1995, with Mary Beth. And in 1996, our son Tom was diagnosed in utero with a birth defect. We weren't exactly sure what that was going to be, but he was born in October of 96, and it ended up being a structural defect of his leg and his foot. Created some challenges over time, but he is now a very healthy 24-year-old, always healthy, played lacrosse, football, and skied. And throughout all of it, we learned a lot from the March of Dimes. After he was born, we became involved with this incredible organization, and pretty much threw our whole passion and energy into supporting the mission, supporting the moms. We have been supported by the March of Dimes staff here in Houston and nationally, and we are forever grateful for that. We're grateful to all of our friends who continue to step up with us through all of our efforts. And this is the 24th year that we have actually participated in the walk. And it means a lot to us. And we're grateful to the healthcare workers. We're grateful to the researchers, to the doctors. And there's just not enough that's being done. We can do so much more. And we're thrilled to be able to support this incredible effort.
Rosemary, when you think about all of the not only all of the money that you and your family and all of your team and everyone that supported you and your efforts over the years, when you think about all of the resources that have come together to support the mission of March of Dimes, and how many moms and babies and families that might have touched, what does that mean to you?
It's almost life-changing because as a single voice, we didn't have a whole lot of ability to impact and effectuate change. But as each year has gone by, and as each year we continue to share our message, what ends up happening is that it multiplies, and we have so many people that hear about what we're doing, and then they share our stories, and we talk with them about how the March of Dimes can help in a multitude of ways, whether it's the advocacy, whether it's just talking to another mom. We've had people that I didn't even know had issues with their very healthy babies that, I was talking to a friend of mine who has twins, and I didn't know until last week that she had triplets because one of her babies had been stillborn. And all this time I'd always been talking about the twins, and it really made me upset because I had known her, and I didn't even know that she had a baby that was part of that family. So in short, it's very meaningful, it's very impactful, and we're just really grateful to be involved.
That's really great. And thank you so much for all that you have done for us. Tina, thank you again so much for all that you're doing. Both of you all are amazing, and we're just so grateful for both of you. I think these women should basically rule the world, right? They are incredible. And like I said, our volunteers, from these two extraordinary women to all the families and other teams, so many hundreds of thousands of people all around the country, you all, and all of us together, you all especially, light the way forward for so many of us every single day. And each and every one of you watching today, all of those who've marched with us, who have stepped up, especially this year, in this very unique year, to engage in our first virtual march, to help us make progress and change for the better possible. We just can't say thank you enough. You continue to fundraise and enlist others to join the fight for healthy moms and strong babies. You are the catalyst, really, for everything that we're doing. And we have had to pivot pretty dramatically in the last month or two to doing everything that we used to do physically to doing it all virtually. And it's only because of our volunteers and the resources that you bring to this organization that you've really been propelling us forward, allowing us to reach more and more families in our work every single day. The March of Dimes, as you know, is committed to improving the lives of all moms and all babies. And by addressing the ways we can improve the maternal and infant health crisis that we face in this country, it's only together, working together, that we'll be able to impact the future of how all families in this country and around the world live. Our mission and our work starts with people like you who step up, who stepped up, and will continue to step up. It's that simple, and it's really that powerful. So thank you all. Thank you all for joining today. And especially during this time, we want to ask you all to be safe. Keep yourselves safe, keep your families safe. And we certainly want to make sure that we can meet you on the pavement next year and walk together again. Thank you so much.
For more than 80 years, March of Dimes has provided programs and resources for moms and babies in communities like yours and across the country. After we pioneered the vaccine research leading to the eradication of polio in the U.S.,
if the results from the observed study areas are employed, the vaccine could be considered to have been 60 to 80% effective against paralytic poliomyelitis.
We shifted focus to address some of the biggest health threats to moms and babies, with innovations like surfactant therapy.
Babies born prior to 35 weeks simply have not matured their lungs enough to make surfactant. We are administering human surfactant and administering it directly to very tiny prematurely born babies.
Folic acid.
If you don't know beans about folic acid, find out today. Your baby's life may depend on it. Preventing birth defects starts before you're pregnant. Get the facts from the March of Dimes.
And newborn screening.
Every day in hospitals across the country, newborn babies receive their first blood test. Called newborn screening, the test was developed by my father, Dr. Robert Guthrie, more than 50 years ago.
At our prematurity research centers, some of the greatest minds are working together to study risk factors, causes, and genetic predispositions for premature birth.
Preterm birth is not a problem that is going to be solved by one person, and it's not going to have one solution.
The world has changed so much since our founding, but our work is as relevant as ever.
The March of Dimes organization is having to navigate a difficult time due to the pandemic.
During this COVID-19 crisis, they're launching a new virtual Step Up campaign.
Hi, Brandon.
Hey there, Heather. I see you're stepping out.
And stepping up for moms and babies.
We have a renewed commitment to helping moms and babies with the tools, technology, and care they need.
we really want to make sure that the March of Dimes, we're there for you with the information you need, the resources you need.
One of the really unique challenges that we have for taking care of our pregnant moms, we need the ability to be able to check their blood pressure. With the virus and the epidemic, these patients are extremely reluctant to come in again to crowded waiting rooms or bring their newborn infants with them. Being able to send those patients home with blood pressure cuffs where we can call them has just been tremendously helpful for us. It has just been so tremendously wonderful to be working with a partner like the March of Dimes that is just as innovative as we are in adapting quickly.
We empower every mom and every family. It's what we do. It's what we've always done.
Together, we can win the fight for healthier babies.
And thanks to your amazing efforts, stepping up this year.
On behalf of FBLA PBL, we want to thank you for stepping up for March for Babies.
I stepped up in 2020.
I am stepping up.
I'm stepping up.
And I'm stepping up. We stepped up because it's a fun and healthy way to give back.
Join me and thousands around the world as we step up for moms and babies everywhere. They need us now more than ever.
It's what we'll continue to do, together, for the next 80 years and beyond.
To all of you here today, thank you for your presence, your comments, your engagement, and for stepping up for moms and babies this year. I'm Leslie Foster, and it has been an honor to be with you today. So take good care and keep up all you are doing.
My name is Ezekiel, and I'm 5 years old, and I weigh 1 pound 10 ounces, and I was born early, and this is a picture of me. And I used to go back to the hospital a couple times, and then I got stronger and stronger. And this is a picture of me. And I'm in pre-K, and I'm gonna go to kindergarten next year. How's you feel today? Bye.
Brave like Bria.
And in honor of the 50th anniversary of the March for Babies walk this year, we are challenging all of our friends and family to walk 50 steps this week and raise $50 or donate $50. And we're going to give you some ideas on how to do that. First, you can run around the house. And you can play catch.
And you can play with your baby brother or sister. Winky, winky.
Doctors and nurses for risking your lives to help people who are sick.
Thank you, store workers, for keeping the stores open, because if the stores were closed, we would have no food or no water. But since the stores are open, we have those things. Again, thank you, store workers. Thank you, truck drivers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today, I am asking you to step up and join myself in the March of Dimes as our annual March for Babies goes completely virtual.
We are obviously doing the marches differently this year, and stuff has moved to a virtual format. We are doing our fundraising through an app called Charity Miles, and not every day, but most days I'm out walking and running. And today, I'm gonna do my run right here. I'm gonna get my 5K in just like last year. I'm running around the property at Rentschler Field, right where we would have had our march.
The March of Dimes was a major support for us last year, so we are excited to be stepping up and fundraising with them. We are encouraging you to step up and share your story. Use hashtag #ShareYourStory, hashtag March for Babies, hashtag MFB Step Up, and step up with us. Step it up, step it up.
Now more than ever during the coronavirus, moms and babies need us. Our medical system is being tested, moms and babies especially at risk. That's why I'm stepping up for the March of Dimes. They're going virtual with their annual walks and they're turning steps into dollars.
Hey Ruby, are you ready for your run? Are you ready?
guys, I'm sure you're all wondering what Team Memory of Gabriel is up to. Well, we are stepping up. We are getting ready for our walk. I'm sure you've all heard that this year's walks have gone virtual. I hope you'll be joining me and everybody. For information, you can check out marchforbabies.org